So today I want to talk to you about the biggest problem that we face as kite surfers. And it's really simple. I'm sure a lot of you can already work this out. It's the wind. That goes without saying. The wind is a fickle mistress. She blows when she chooses, and we are absolutely dependent on her to go kite surfing. So I started thinking, well, the wind is fundamentally outside of our control. That's never going to change until we invent, wind turbines that blow the other way and blow wind onto the water or something like that. What can we actually control? And that led me to this guy. Michael Jordan said something really, really interesting. He spends 90 minutes, more or less, a day, or this was when he was playing, obviously, training on the court. There are 1,350 more minutes in that day. So it stands to reason that what he does in that 1,350 minutes is much more important than the time he spent, the 90 minutes he spends on the court. If only because there's more of it. Even if he's preparing for his training session the next day and recovering from his session the day before, that time is going to be much more important in his overall progression over the course of time than the 90 minutes he spends a day on the court. And this led me to my aha moment. I realised it's actually what we do off the water that's important. We have no control over the wind. What we do have control over is what we do when we are off the water. Because 90% of how we perform on the water is dictated by what we do off the water. I've probably lost a few of you here. You're wondering, what's he talking about? How does this fit in? I don't get this. I don't understand what he's trying to say. Or probably some of you are sat there thinking, I absolutely disagree with this. That's fine, okay? But consider this. The single most important factor in your kite surfing performance is you. And it's the variable you have absolute control over. Now, this seems obvious when we're talking about, let's say, athletics. In a sport like athletics, it's obvious that person, their body, their ability to run faster, to be stronger, to be able to go for longer is the most important variable. But we don't translate this to kite surfing. And this led me on a quest to investigate this an awful lot more. And it led me to this chap, Tom Brady. Now, for those of you who haven't heard of Tom, Tom is the quarterback of the New England Patriots, an American football team. And he's now 40, maybe even 41 years old. He got to the Super Bowl last year. They lost. But he's been to 7 Super Bowls before that. He is possibly the greatest quarterback in NFL history. What's interesting about Tom is at 25, he was a very, very mediocre quarterback. He actually was at the point of quitting because he thought, I just cannot do this anymore. My body just will not take the strains of NFL life. Then he changed his life. And over the last 5 years in the NFL, they run a battery of tests every year to check their athletes' performance. Over the last 5 years, from the age of sort of 35, he has been getting better year on year on each of those tests. He's actually become a better quarterback as he's got older. And this goes totally against everything that we've ever been taught about biology and how it should work. Once we hit 30, we're supposed to just start a rapid decline into sitting in the wheelchair all day watching the cricket. Well, Tom hasn't. Tom is still playing at 40, 41 years old at the very highest level. And this made me think, what did he do? What did Tom do to change himself so radically from the age of 25 to 40? Well, it's simple. He worked on the one variable that he had control over: himself. Now, if you're interested in this, guys, we go into this in a lot more detail in our webinar that we run every week. The link is in the show notes to this video. Go down there, click the link, register, and we'll talk a lot more about this on the webinar. As always, if you enjoyed that, don't forget to click like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.